That looks a little dark, doesn't it? Let's fix that. Ha, that's better. You ever wonder why some photographers get perfect exposure every single time? Well, let me tell you a secret. They're using a light meter. Yay! All right, today I'm gonna show you why a light meter is a must-have in the studio, how to use one, and why it's key in getting flawless lighting for your portraits. And don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. Let's get it. What is a light meter and why should you use one? A light meter is a device that measures the amount of light that's falling off your subject to give you an accurate exposure reading. Sure, your camera has a built-in meter, but here's the problem. It meters reflected light, meaning it's easily fooled by bright or dark backgrounds. A handheld light meter like my Sekonic Flashmate L308s measures incident light, which gives you the most accurate exposure no matter what your background looks like. Why you should use a light meter. Consistency, no more guessing. Every shot will have the same exposure. Saves editing time. Get it right in camera instead of fixing it later. Perfect skin tones. Avoid overexposed highlights or muddy shadows. Balancing multiple lights. This is essential for complex lighting setups. All right, now let's talk about how to use a light meter in the studio. Just a few simple steps. Step 1, set your camera settings. Choose your ISO and shutter speed first. I usually go with ISO 100 and 1/200th of a second or 1/160th of a second for studio work. Step 2, set the light meter. On my Sekonic, I need to press my mode switch until I get to the flash mode, which is usually depicted by a lightning bolt. Step 3, hold the light meter at the subject's position. Now for a single light, I like to place it right under the subject's chin, pointing towards the light source. If I have multiple lights, I need to point at each light separately to get their individual measurements. Step 4, trigger the flash, read the meter. Fire your flash and check the f-stop reading. This is the aperture you should set on your camera for a perfect exposure. Step 5, make any adjustments needed. This is self-explanatory. It's not always perfect with the light meter, but it should get you close. All right, from here, you just need to go adjust your power settings on your flash to get the desired f-stop. Here's a pro tip. If you're using multiple lights, meter each light separately to balance your setup. I like to use the 2-to-1 ratio. That means whatever I have on my key light, I want half the power on my kicker light. Common features on light meters. Most light meters, including my Sekonic Flashmate, have a few features that are fairly common that you should know. Reflected light modes. This measures light falling off the subject or bouncing off the subject. The source can be from anywhere, so the sun, buildings, artificial light, it's going to measure everything that the camera can see. Flash modes. Light meters work for both flash and continuous light. My Sekonic will actually help me with metering both at the same time. Shutter speed and ISO settings. You get to pick these settings, so once you figure out what you want them to be, put those settings into your light meter before you measure your light. Corded and wireless flash triggering. Some light meters will actually connect to your lights and fire them every time you press your measurement button. Once you get the hang of these, you'll never go back to guessing your exposure again. All right, let's wrap this up. Using a light meter in the studio takes the guesswork out of exposure. It gives you perfect, consistent lighting every time. All right, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for the jug, drop a comment down below. Do you use a light meter? Or are you thinking about getting one? Let me know down in the comments. Remember, it's all gas, no brakes. Whatever you do it moving. Yeah. We out of here, baby. Peace.